It's a very difficult issue. What the Allied forces and NATO forces are trying to do through this technique is to pretty much replicate what happened in Iraq, that brought Iraq from the brink of civil war to the pretty much stabilized country it currently is. And that's the following. In Iraq, it was the so-called Sunni awakening, where the Allies managed to hive off those people who were paid insurgents, who were, as it were, not ideological militants, and to bring those people away from the ideological militants. That's the same technique that's now being suggested in Afghanistan, that those people who've joined the Taliban for non-ideological reasons can be hived away from the ideological Taliban. Now, that's not going to be a swift tactic. It's not going to show success necessarily fast, but if what happened in Iraq is replicated, it will be successful in the long term.
And even if these people have been blowing up British soldiers at the roadside, you wouldn't object to them receiving money to stop fighting?
Well, I object to it very much, but I also know that as a pragmatist on these issues, we have to also look at what we can do to bring Afghanistan back to some kind of state of normality, and it's not easy, and anyone who tells you it is fooling you. Let's
hear from some members of the audience. Quite a lot of people with their hands up. The woman here in red and white at the front.
For Jenny's response, do you not think it's more important with the current economic climate? We've been borrowing money from other countries because of the amount of debt we're in. Do you not feel Gordon Brown should concentrate on getting this country back into order so that us that have been unemployed for over a year that cannot get a job because there are no jobs, we can get back into some kind of order than getting money and giving it to other countries, look closer to home.
OK, you think the money's being wasted, in other words?
It needs to be back in England. England has got such a problem right now. And we're in the recession. How are we going to get out of it if we just give money to other countries all the time?
Ben Bradshaw.
Well, in response to that point and the point that Jane made, actually the UK's contribution is pretty small compared with most of the other countries. Japan, Germany are all contributing more. But in the end, I agree with Douglas. If this means that we can bring our people home sooner, if this helps bring a lasting peace to Afghanistan, it has to be worth doing. And it's not simply, David, as you implied, handing over a bung or a bribe to Taliban fighters. It's about investing in economic development, in land, so that they can convert to farming, in helping the economic development, as Douglas says, to get those non-ideological, non-Al-Qaeda fighters away from Al-Qaeda. And that's the only hope for Afghanistan. If we don't do anything, you know, Afghanistan was a breeding ground for terrorism. The September the 11th attacks, the July the 7th attacks in London were planned and orchestrated from that region.
What you don't already have? We don't have the money to invest.
It depends how much your security matters.
And is it not a fact of life? There is always going to be terrorism. There is always going to be terror. Oh, you can't eradicate it.
In Afghanistan, you mean?
Anywhere in the world, there will always be terrorism.
Give up and just allow everyone to bomb you.
We don't have the resources. We cannot be the solution to the world's problems.
No, but this is our problem.
Hold on, Douglas. The woman with black hair there, please. Yes, you.
I think it's absolutely appalling that the British people and the taxpayers of this country are actually asked to pay for the Taliban, for them to have houses, for us to pay for them to get jobs, when they're actually over there killing our sons and our daughters.
Terrorism pays.
That is actually, for the government to want us in this country to do that, that's an insult to the people, to the families who actually lost their children, and to the British taxpayer in this country. That is actually telling us, the rest of us, we are not worth nothing. And the Taliban are worth more than we are, because we're asked to pay to put them in houses and get them jobs, and they're killing our children.
Your view should that we should what? Fight, just fight.
I think, to be quite honest with you, our boys shouldn't be there anyway, but they are there, so there's nothing we can do about it at this present moment. But now to ask us to pay for houses and jobs for the Taliban, to get them down from the mountains, to stop shooting the British soldiers, is absolutely appalling. It shows you what's happening to this country.
Nigel Lawson.
I must say this somewhat reminds me, this episode, of the old Arab story, a rather cynical one. Which is it better to be, a friend of the British or an enemy of the British? And the answer is better to be an enemy of the British, but if you're an enemy, they buy you. If you're a friend, they sell you. This does represent, at the very least, a beginning of a change of policy. It's not right, but a change of policy is badly needed. The whole idea of sorting out Afghanistan, the British tried to do it in the pomp of the empire in the late 19th century. Couldn't do it. The Russians tried to do it when they were quite powerful. They couldn't do it. It is a complete nonsense. And what we need to do is to keep our eye on the ball. The ball is not nation building in Afghanistan, bringing democracy to Afghanistan. That's their business, if they want that or not.
Absolutely.
Propping up a totally corrupt regime in Afghanistan, which is what it is. Our focus should be Al-Qaeda and other forms of Islamic terrorism. And the question should be, what is the best way of fighting that? Changing Afghanistan when then they go to Pakistan or they go to Yemen and go to both is crazy. It is costing an awful lot of money, far too much, and an awful lot of unnecessary lives among our boys there.
When I first heard about this policy, it made my goddamn blood boil. Honest to God, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. That lady summed it up absolutely perfect. What the hell is a British government, let alone any Western European government or America? What is this? We send our boys, our girls, our men, our women, our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers, our aunts and uncles. We send our precious blood. We send our treasure. We send our children, our family members over to fight a war, and then the government tells us that we want to buy off the enemy that have been killing our men and women, our boys and girls, our moms and dads, our brothers and sisters, our aunts and uncles. Are they out of their freaking goddamn minds? What the hell is wrong with you people? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my, I couldn't believe this. And the gentleman basically said, if you want to be a friend or a foe of England, okay, it's what? If you're a friend, we'll sell you. If you're an enemy, we'll buy you. How the hell do the government, you know what? I wonder how many of the government MPs have their sons and daughters fighting the war. That's what I'd like to ask. How many of their sons and daughters, moms and dads, brothers or sisters, aunts or uncles, boys or girls, how many of them? Just say, are you guys bloody daft? Are you just stupid? Is the government of Britain just stupid? The policy, are they idiotic? Are they moronic? Are they retarded? I say absolutely 1,000% yes, if I'm hearing this correctly. And then on top of it, you're borrowing the money? You're borrowing the money from the IMF or other areas, other countries, to pay off your enemy. Who gives a crap whether they have a house to live on or they come down from the mountainside and have fields to plow on? If you tactically did what you were supposed to do, you'd get rid of them. So they wouldn't have to come down the mountains because you already got rid of them. It's war. This is unbelievable, folks. Amazing. This just pisses me off to no freaking end. That they're buying off the enemy. Amazing, amazing. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already and you like our content, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. I'd love for you guys, especially across the pond in Britain. We have a lot of you that are watching these videos. What do you guys think when you hear this? I mean, what did you hear when this was happening at that point in time? Put your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of this. Amazing, folks. Amazing. Y'all know what to do. Like, share, and follow us. I'll leave you with my final thought, which is when you're right, you're right. And we're right about this. And when you're wrong, the British government, they're so damn wrong about this. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.